hit play on the video.
Are we live?
I clicked go live.
Yeah, we're live.
We are
we're
live.
Definitely live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 347 of the Xbox Drive. I am one of your hosts, Fee. We are currently not starting with an opening. Why, you may ask? Because I have the helm tonight and everything is chaotic. So here we are. I'm back. I was away for a while. Now I'm back again. Exciting times, but I'm really excited to sit down and talk to my two co-hosts. Bowza, how have you been?
Oh, I can't complain too much. Been feeling better. I'm fully over the COVID. I'm not taking
Nice.
naps every day anymore, so
Woo.
I guess I'm cured.
Because adults
all I
can't
got.
take naps unless
I
they're deathly
survived
ill.
pretty much. Well, I can't
Yeah.
take a nap every day unless I'm sick. I actually worked an entire week, which I
Ooh.
haven't done in like a month and a half for various reasons.
Isn't it trash when you gotta do that?
I know, it's terrible.
Yeah, it sucks.
The
So
worst.
Terrible.
My
Nobody
goodness.
wants to do that.
The
Nobody
absolute
signs up for it.
worst.
We sign up for it every week, but somehow we try to wiggle out
I
a day
only
or
do it
two.
because they send me money.
Yeah, right.
Money
If
is pretty
only.
important. Man.
I agree.
All right. And Mitch, how have you been?
I've been good. I've been having fun. I've been getting a bunch of stuff in the mail from. I ordered a bunch of my own merch as like samples.
Ooh.
I got a new desk mat. It's very nice. I like it. I've been just having fun playing games. I go on vacation I only have 2 more working days, and then I get like a week and a half off, which is why I will
Nice.
not be here next week. So sorry everybody who's really looking forward to hearing my voice and or seeing my face. I apologize. I won't be here. It'll actually, we talked about that too. It's funny, how long will it be before all 4 of us are actually here? Like
December.
yeah, 100%. 100%. Something will happen.
We'll have like
That's why there's
Christmas
4 of
lights
us.
up. It'll be finally the 4 of us, and then it'll be Christmas. So what are we gonna do? Who knows?
I don't know. I
knows?
was looking at cruises to take over Christmas, so
Dang.
maybe not.
Cruises over Christmas.
That's okay. He'll just
Interesting.
fire one of us and it'll just be 3 of us again.
Yeah, there
True.
you go.
There you go.
Let's get fired.
Well, I'm not taking a
Merry
cruise.
Christmas, you're fired
Boom.
from the job we don't pay you for.
Boom. Roasted.
How can I get fired? I don't get paid.
Oh,
You're out of here,
my
mister.
God. All right.
All good.
Yeah, I've been away. I was on vacation myself. I was on the other side of the continent. I was in an earlier time zone than all of you. I was in a place called BC, British Columbia. So it is Pacific. I thought you were in Mountain.
Welcome to Arizona, where we don't do daylight savings. Currently, right now, we are the same as Pacific.
Okay. Well,
Or Pacific. That's
Mitch and I were in the same time zone for 10, 11 days. It was a lot of fun. Did a lot of things, traveled a lot, saw a lot of mountains, crazy things occurred. And it's really pretty over there, guys. Would recommend going and checking it out if you want to
is.
come to Canada. It's crazy. I did a lot of stuff, got to hang out with a lot of cool people. And get to experience a whole bunch of stuff, like camping for the first time. That was fun.
For the first time ever,
for
sleeping
the
outdoors
first
in a
time.
tent.
I've done like the whole backyard camping before. I've never done actual camping before. So that was fun. Yeah.
Is there sarcasm in that voice?
Well, okay, I didn't react too well to it, but I enjoy it now. After
okay.
like we did it for 3 nights. First night, for context, I am petrified of the dark. Fun fact. So that went swimmingly.
What a horrible place to be, where there's literally no lights unless you make it.
And then the second night went well, and then the third night I loved it. But I had to wake up super early to catch a ferry the next day, so that was fun. Because we were leaving a place called Vancouver Island. Yes, so not an actual fairy mythological being. We were on a boat, a ferry
It would have
boat.
been more fun if you were catching actual fairies in the woods.
Right. I just want to point out, if anybody thought the mythological creature fairy and not a boat, got a little bit of soul searching to do there.
You might want to go outside occasionally.
Yeah. Might want to go outside and see some stuff in the world, right?
You would assume that, but I've talked about fairies on multiple occasions, and people are like, fairies? And I'm like, yes, like the boat? And they're like, oh, I thought you meant like the little creatures. Context
is important though, right? Because we're talking about camping, not playing Zelda. like,
Fair. I meant a means of transportation, which made it even more confusing. So, yeah, it was overall a lot of fun. So maybe I'll talk about it in a future episode of the Patrons podcast, because that was a whole experience and a half, and I don't want to take up an hour of your time talking about my trip. But yeah, because I want to talk about games, guys. But before we get into some games, housekeeping.
We got some housekeeping to go over. Sean's not here, so I have to do his jobs.
Woo!
What else is new?
I'd like to thank Kia Savoy for joining us at the gold member tier on Patreon, Josh Coulter and Sakura Sky for joining at the exclusive tier, and Stingray X for upgrading to the exclusive tier. And since you're all there and you have access to all that Patreon exclusive content, you should check out the new show we just launched yesterday, Campfire. Myself, Seth, Locklith, and Nagachaka were on the first episode. To go along with that, we have a new merch item in the shop over at carpoolgaming.com featuring the Campfire logo drawn by Miss Fee herself.
Yeah, it was a collaboration between Locklith. Locklith made the original Campfire Bobby, and then I wanted to add a little bit to it. I wanted to add my own little personal touches to it to make it look cutesy. So I had that opportunity, which was a lot of fun. So go check it out. I really like it. It's very fall themed, so I would definitely recommend it, especially since we're going into the fall season. Grab yourself a sweater, match it with a cardigan. You're gonna look great. People are gonna be like, "What's that? What's that T-shirt?" Go get one. It's really cute.
I
would highly recommend.
Very
also
first
on the
T-shirt
merch
on the store, Stu. I just want to point that out. Very first T-shirt on the store. I just put a link in the chat for anybody who's watching YouTube. Feel free to stop by the store, get yourself some merch, get yourself a Campfire shirt, maybe an Xbox Drive shirt, maybe both the Xbox Drive shirts. No real, preference or anything.
One of each.
Not biased at all.
No.
Buy the merch for your favorite carpool show, which is this
but
one.
You do need to purchase your Summer Game Fest merch because that goes away at the end of the month. So the super cool logo for that one. I just got my tank top in. It's awesome. I'm excited to go get some sun on my shoulders.
What's that like?
I don't know. It's probably going to turn me red. I'll be this color by the end, but hey.
Look at this tank top, guys. Ooh.
Yeah. I got that pretty green colored shirt.
Ooh, you got the mint green? Mm-hmm. That's a real pretty color.
It is. Can confirm IRL, it's beautiful.
Yes.
Very nice.
I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, go check out our website, guys. We have so much cool merch right now. Go check out our videos. Why not? Go check out all the stuff that's going on. This is the Campfire merch.
There you go.
Some really cool colors.
I like it.
Kind of surprised Sean hasn't made a, custom shirt for the podcast. We did recently too. It's kind of rude, me and him have a podcast we just did, but
wow.
All right.
I'll talk to him later. Don't worry about it.
We know who's getting fired first.
right? Who's the first one on the chopping block?
the one
Remember
that's causing all the
12th
trouble.
when you ran your mouth about not getting your own shirt? You're done.
You're done.
Goodness.
Out of here.
Get out of here.
Boom.
Can I keep the Xbox Live? Yes, you can. Go. Thank you.
Extra special thank you to all the patrons because your support through Patreon helps us to put on events like Extra Life, to get all the hosts there so we can have a blast together in person, raising money for the kids.
Still maybe for me. Just saying.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I'll fly
I'm
to Arizona
so
and
hard.
drag you out there.
I mean, come try. You'll just, actually in November, it'll be really good weather. I was going to say, if you fly out here now, you'll absolutely melt.
Yeah, probably.
It'll be bad.
We don't need Bowser to die. We need Bowser.
No, we absolutely don't.
Let's not have me die.
No.
She walks out of the airport. She's like,
She needs to go to her end of year cruise.
Yeah.
It's important.
It's very important. Christmas cruises.
Oh my goodness.
Movie
All right,
Christmas
I
with
think-
the Cranks based off Bowser. Just saying. Anybody watch that Christmas movie? No? Okay.
Multiple times.
Have you?
Yep.
Good job. I'm glad somebody else knows the movie I'm talking about.
Oh, I sure do. Very good
Great
movie.
movie. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's it for the housekeeping.
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 All right.
Just moving on to the next room.
Yeah.
Knocking on their door.
Mitch, you need to make an option where it gets quieter every time you press it, and so
Oh,
it
yeah.
just sounds like she's going down the hallway. Get like a cart. Next time you need to like add a cart sound, and then it's gonna be a whole thing. By the end of the year, it's gonna sound like a hotel. Like it's gonna be crazy.
100%.
Just randomly hit the button every
Actual
10
bells and
minutes during the
whistles.
show.
Hold on. Let's test this. Is that any
Yep,
quieter?
yep, that's better.
Perfect. Wow, she's really doing her job well. She's
Yeah. She's
speeding through the
room to
hotel.
room with the quickness. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
She does a great job.
she deserves a tip.
100%.
Oh goodness, I missed this. Yeah, so let's get, you guys want to talk about what you've been playing? Because man,
Sure. We can definitely do that.
we can do that. We can do whatever we want, Mitch.
Yeah, I know. Sean's not
We're in
here,
charge.
right? we
are in
can do
charge.
whatever. Who
Yeah.
wants to talk about some other subject besides Xbox for the next 2 hours? That'd be hilarious.
I mean, we could talk about the fact I just watched a show about like a bunch of like cruise accidents, but that's a whole other thing.
Oh, no. Not right before Mouse is going to get another one.
It's bad enough that everywhere I went on my last cruise is now destroyed from Hurricane Beryl.
Oh, my God.
It like followed my cruise
No.
path.
I heard you talking that shit about something,
Yeah.
dog.
So the cruise I'm looking at in December does not go to those places because
That's
they're
good.
gone.
That's good.
Okay. Okay.
Because they're not options anymore. Oh, my God. That's horrible. That's always the worst. It's like, little, you know, when you're about to get on a plane, it's just like top 10 plane accidents. Like, how about not? Right?
Yeah.
Can we just.
That's
could
what
we not?
happened before my trip. I kept on getting
my
like
God.
it's just like Boeing is currently being sued. Boeing accidents. Boeing like person opens door like before landing, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, I
It's
don't need
fine.
to see this. Please stop doing this.
He wants a good view of the mountain that you were flying over.
No, this was in South Korea. Like someone on like Korea Air opened the door before they actually landed.
Checks out.
So
That's so weird. I don't know what to say to that.
don't
That's
do
odd.
it. It was just wild times, guys. Do not let Google News ruin your vacations. It's my advice to you.
Side note, I'm really sad that you enjoyed camping on the very last day. Like, that was when it got the best for her, right? She's like, night 1 sucked. Night 2 was better. Night 3, right before it all ended, that was the greatest 5 ever. And then it's just like, done. Also, worst part about camping, packing it all up.
Yeah.
That
was
sucks.
I had to do it at 4:15 in the morning. So,
Right. Again, that's the worst part about camping. You drag it all there, you hook it up, everybody's awesome. And then 3 nights of terrible sleep, waking up at 4 in the
Yeah.
morning, tired of dealing with bugs in nature, and now you got to pack it all up and get it out of there.
yeah,
It's the worst part.
It was a time. I will admit one of my highlights of camping. I was sitting because we were at like for context, we were camping, but there was like designated camping spots, and I'm looking at one of the other ones across the way, and this guy gets into a hammock that they put on between 2 trees, and I watched this man's life flash before his eyes as the hammock broke. It just instantly, he gets in, gets comfortable, smashes to the ground, knocks the wind out of himself. He's just stunned.
He makes that noise when you get the wind knocked out. You're like, I hope all audio listeners love what I just did right now.
I'm so sorry.
Right in their headphones.
It was too much, and I just like, I didn't know who to tell. I just told my boyfriend. I was just like, and I had to whisper it because I'm like, I don't
Poor
need them
man's
to hear
dying.
me. And I'm like, I think someone just like really got hurt. And like, mind you, I have first aid training if worse comes for worse. But like,
Sure.
holy moly, was that just like an event where you're just like, this is a one-time experience where you're just watching this person just,
Go through it. Just-
yeah, and just the look in his eyes as he fell, like in slow motion to the ground, and boom. Goodness
So
gracious.
here's a big question I have, though.
Yes.
Were you at a place that had like, okay, so you talked about camping in the backyard, right?
Sure.
Now, the problem is with camping in the backyard, it's not really roughing it because worst case scenario, if it starts to suck, you're like, I'm just going inside.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't got to worry about this stuff, right? Were the place that you went, did they have like, because we did a similar thing. Me and my family in Colorado met my family from Minnesota. It was halfway point of us driving. We went to Colorado and we basically were at a campsite. But they had like Wi-Fi and they had like a place, like a lodge where
like
you can go
building
eat
with showers.
And like a pool. Like it was just like walk some distance into some wilderness. Here's this spot of flat grass. That's where you stay. It was like an outdoor hotel, which was kind of weird, but at the same time,
Glamping.
no, not necessarily. So glamping is like I have a cabin with like a real bed. Right.
Glamping also can mean RVs now. Have you seen the recent RVs that have come out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's an RV.
We had a travel trailer for a while. That's the way I go.
There is an RV, guys, that if you spend an extra $150,000, you can get a car with it. And it actually has a parking spot underneath the RV. There's also, on the same one, comes with a helicopter pad.
Got it. Okay, hold on a second. Hey, yo, babe, you got 150K? No? Okay.
That's the extra 150K for the car
extra
and the helipad.
My bad.
Yeah.
It's $2 million.
Let me access my other bank account. So sorry. Yeah.
Not a problem.
See, I got money in my savings. I got to move it to my checking, all that stuff.
But no, it was one of those campsites where like you drive into the woods and there's like specific designated spots. So we were like L65. So it's like this like almost like a flat stoned area with a bench, like one of those like camp like bench seats, and then there was like a fire pit, and there's like single ones, which is what we had, and then there's double. So if like a family had, let's say, multiple tents, or one had like an RV and then they had tents, which is what happened across the way from us. And there's quite a bit of space in between each, but you can still tell that there are people around you. And so you can rent this particular area for specific nights.
Did any weirdos in RVs come up to you and try to say hi?
No, not at all.
Oh, that's good.
It was funny. There was a woman who was walking almost a, like, what I would like to say is like a Great Dane mix and a very small terrier. And she was
RV.
biking.
Rad.
No, she was like, people are walking around the campsite.
Sure.
So she was walking
okay.
across. And then all of a sudden we just see this like horse of a dog trotting back because she let loose of the leash for 2 seconds. And so you just see this dog and then like 3 kids chasing the dog. And then you see another person chasing the dog. And you're just like, you know what? This is dinner entertainment.
Well, I'll say last time I checked, chasing a dog definitely calms it down. It doesn't make it run away faster.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't even running fast.
Run.
He was like trotting fast because he's a massive dog. So he's just like, do. I'm just going to walk really fast away. And he kept on looking behind him like, ugh.
It's like when a really tall person walks fast and you're like next with a short person whose little legs are just doing this. Like, I can't keep up. What are you doing? Slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
Man. But yes,
I'm glad you had fun camping on the very last day. That's great.
Yeah, I plan on going camping again because I really want to, especially in my province. Mind you, it's very humid here.
Yeah.
So negative points, maybe closer to maybe August or September might be a better option because next week is going to be like 29 degrees every day. So, which is, oh goodness gracious. I'm sorry, I'm not going to try to figure that out in Fahrenheit right now with humidity.
I got you. Don't worry. Continue talking. You're fine. Go on.
Thank you. But yeah, I have been able to play a few video games since I've come back. But I don't want to start off myself on what I've been playing. So
84 degrees Fahrenheit.
Thank you. But mind you, add humidity to that, so it's just like not fun. But I digress. Bowza, what have you been playing?
I have, in fact, played a few video games.
Wow.
Since last week, I played and finished SteamWorld Dig 2.
Nice.
So I made it through both of them. I did not struggle with anything in this one, unlike the boss on the first one, so it's a good time. Played some Fall Guys and some Fortnite with my co-host, Mitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
The one co-host who will play games with Bowza.
That's right. Somebody has to.
Just saying.
I know, maybe I'm not that good, but geez.
And guess what? I still have a blast, Bowza. It don't matter.
Doesn't matter because your expectations are set very low.
Exactly. I've discussed this before. If I play with friends and they tell me they suck, I won't get mad at you because my
Right.
expectations are here, right? If I know you're good and you're here, we have a problem. I'm gonna yell at you. I'm gonna get a little snippy with you. That's right. You feed that face. That's what they make sometimes when I yell at them. I'm like, hey, lock in. What are we doing? Is your TV on? Is your monitor on? What are we doing? Talk to me. You know what I mean? But with Bowser, we just have a good old time. We have fun.
Right.
You know? Absolutely.
Good.
Another game that I played, courtesy
It's just like, shut up.
courtesy of Xbox Canada. It's a little game called Shy Cat's Hidden Orchestra. I have the trailer pulled up. If you want to share that, Fee. So this is like a hidden objects game, and each level is kind of like color coded. So this one is pinks and purples. So even the cats will kind of blend in here. But what's really neat is it starts out silent, and as you find the cats, they're each playing a different instrument. So their part of the music starts to play.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's 20 cats in each level. One of them is like a secret cat where you have to find a key, open up a chest, and then it'll give you like a little clue. And essentially it tells you to like mute a bunch of the cats except for a couple specific ones. And once you get the right ones picked, then the hidden secret cat will appear somewhere in the level and you have to find that as well. So it's pretty fun. Not a ton of levels, but it's got some.
So cute.
Yeah, it was a fun time. They not a ton of levels, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I appreciate Xbox Canada for providing us with codes.
I just got fired off the show.
You did. You got thrown out.
I absolutely just got voted off the island. So thank you, Fee. Appreciate you.
For context, I thought I would proactively close this screen share, and I didn't know that you could close it on your side. And so I was just
We
like,
both closed
oh,
it.
whoops. Which
Instead, you
included
closed
closing.
Mitch.
We don't need to see or hear from Mitch right now. Bowser, continue.
We're done.
We'll
with
get him
you.
off the screen
Listen.
while Bowser talks. Don't worry. It's cool.
Listen.
We
Stop
don't need
making
them.
faces over there. Next up, I played some of that there Neon White. And I'm sad that Sean's not here to talk to. But it's fun. There is like dialogue and stuff going on, but you know what's really cool? You can just press X and it like speeds
Skip
through all of
all of
it.
it?
Like I'm not here for that. I don't know what's going on with all these. Like we're neons, we're dead, and we're trying. Like we weren't great people, but we might be able to earn our spot in heaven. So that's what we're doing. I don't know. There's like romance. You give people gifts. None of that. No, I just want to play the levels, go fast, shoot the demons, find the hidden treasures, move on.
Sounds good.
The downside is because it's brand new on Xbox, my friend leaderboard is blank. So I have the best time throwing the gauntlet down, people.
Until I join.
Get on there, add me on Xbox, Bowser 13, and then go play Neon White because it's on Game Pass and you should play it. As Sean and Seth would say, everyone go play Neon White.
Yeah. Seth literally started the show last week in the comments.
Yeah.
He's just like, thank you, go play Neon
Everyone do it. I'm still messing up because your jump button is the left bumper. It makes sense once you're playing. Like, while you're actually playing a level, all you use is your 2 sticks, 2 bumpers, 2 triggers. Like, that's it. You don't use the face buttons at all.
Okay.
But I still mess it up on occasion. I'm like hitting A to jump and it doesn't work, so that's on me,
yeah.
I guess.
There was I can't remember what game I used bumper jumper on. Halo for a while.
Yeah.
I think maybe Titanfall I used it because it was just easier to like just put it there with all the abilities and stuff. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, bumper jumper sometimes works well, but I'll just put on the elite button. I'll just make a Neon White profile and make the normal jump button I use in Apex. Just make that whatever button it is for Neon White. Just do that.
Yep. Another game. I don't know if it's on Game Pass or if it's just free to play. I don't know. Either way, it's called Aim Labs.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like training you to get good at shooters. I don't know if that's happening, but I played through the training courses and got some easy chivos, so I don't
That
know if I'm
requires
gonna.
keyboard and mouse, right? Or were you? Yeah.
Yeah,
No, you're doing controller. Okay.
yeah, controller on my Xbox.
I've heard of aim labs before. I know there's a bunch of people that I know that exactly what you said. They use it to try to get their aim dialed in before they actually start streaming or start playing and whatever.
No,
I don't need any of that. I'm so good.
I don't need
just
that.
wake up, just start shooting people. All right.
yeah, just wake up, start shooting. It's fine. It's
100%.
America.
Then I started blasting. 100%.
And the last one I'll shout out is also a Game Pass game, A Little to the Left. I've been doing the daily tidy. Not every day in a row, but I did get to 100 daily tidies. And there's an achievement for that, and now I'm done.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah, there's other ones for like doing it like 100 days consecutively, and I don't know. I leave my house too often for that to be an achievable thing, so
Right.
I'm good.
Question I have for you: that Shy Cats game. It's not on Game Pass, I assume, because you got the code.
Correct.
I was gonna say that seems like one of those touch games that like cloud streaming touch games that would probably
Yeah,
be
that
really,
would be, well, A Little
really
to the
work
Left is a
really well.
perfect example of that.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think that would be pretty cool to have something like that. But if you had to ask for a code, or if we got a code from Xbox Canada, I should say,
Yeah.
we didn't
No,
ask
it's
for it, they
not
just
on
gave it
Game
to us.
Pass.
Thank you. Shout
Maybe
out
it'll
Xbox Canada. Yeah, it would have been cool to be one of those touch games because that looked
Yeah.
definitely like one of those touch games for sure.
Yep. I think that's it for me. Mitch, what have you been playing?
So, talked about it a little bit earlier. I was playing Apex. Obviously, I play Apex all the time. The event just got over. There was an event for new skin just got over. They added solos back as a limited time mode. I actually have to put a lot of time into Apex here soon because even though I talk about it as much as I do, I actually haven't been playing it too much. So I need to get some Battle Pass stuff going ASAP before that's done and over. There's some new rumors of Season 22 having a brand new map, which will be really nice because we haven't had a new map in a year, maybe. So it'd be cool to have that. Otherwise, played some Fortnite with you. We had some fun. I was working more on the battle pass with that, just trying to get some stuff unlocked. Fully got all the Magneto challenges. Basically got the Fallout power armor, which is all I cared about. I'm at the point now where I got the power armor and I'm like, don't need to play for the rest of the season. I'm good.
There was a banner in the game today that I noticed that says Pirates of the Caribbean stuff comes out July 19th.
Which I'm all about, which I will absolutely spend money on because Pirates of the Caribbean is pretty awesome. I saw this, the leaked skins were Jack Sparrow, Davy Jones, Barbossa, and Elizabeth Swan were the 4 skins that supposedly are part of that. I don't know if they're all going to come out right away. I don't know if they're going to be battle pass challenges. Who knows? There was also an item in game where you have the ship in a bottle. You shake out the giant ship that you ride in the game.
Oh, we're definitely getting on that.
I'm all about that because Pirates is pretty awesome. I felt super old when the other day I saw on Instagram that Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl was 21 years old. So now it can buy alcohol, and I'm officially old because I saw that in the theaters. I saw it in the theaters as a child, not even a young one. I'm sad. I'm old. Anyways, so yeah, that's the rumor thing. I think I don't know if it's next week or 2 weeks from now is the rumored date for all the pirate stuff, but I'm all about it. Another game I played, thanks to my mod queen, played some Left 4 Dead 2. She was playing Left 4 Dead the other day, and I was like, I haven't seen this game in forever. That is pretty awesome. I don't have Left 4 Dead 1 digitally, and you can't buy it in the store anymore. Like, that was taken out a long, long time ago, but I had Left 4 Dead 2. And she had mentioned, like, she had the case for her Left 4 Dead 2, but didn't have the disc. She has no idea where it went. So she bought a copy of Left 4 Dead 2 and then asked if I wanted to play. And I was like, hell yeah, let's play. I haven't played it in a minute. I sucked. I didn't know where to go in the maps. I kept shooting my teammates because friendly fire in that game is a thing. But I had an absolute blast. Like, it was super fun. It definitely itched that nostalgia that I remember playing that game so much doing the versus mode where 4 survivors and then 4 people as zombies, like the special zombies. And I remember playing that for months straight. I love that mode. Super fun. I played it on Xbox with her. How much of that game is like still populated though? It's always on sale on Steam all the time. Like all the time. It's $1. Like I own it on Steam. So I'm sure on Steam there's like cool mods you can do. And I'm sure there's all these things you can do on Steam. But we just played the 360 version. Also, haven't played a 360 backward compatible game in a long time. That was also weird. Because one thing that's funny is I went to go search for friends. And I was like, cool, I'll go search for Queen's game. Couldn't find her. And I'm like, I'm friends with Queen. Why can I not find Queen? The reason why is because I added her as an Xbox One friend, never a 360 friend, because I didn't know Queen back then. So I actually had to go into the 360 guide, add Queen as an Xbox 360 friend for us to be able to see it. Also, we tried out in-game chat for Left 4 Dead 2 on Xbox 360. I promise you, the worst connection Discord call sounds infinitely better than 360 in-game chat. It's the worst thing ever. It was so bad. And back in the day, we thought it was awesome. There's Queen right there, just peachy. We had a blast. It was super fun. I'm down to play more. If anybody out there happens to still have this game on 360 and decides they want to play one day, sure. So we could do that. But we also did my community day last week on Saturday. We did Fall Guys, and that was amazing. Amazing. So much fun. So many people played. Coolest thing that happened to me out of nowhere. My custom game that I hid the code, so I don't want randoms. The only thing I'll tell you though, on these community games, Among Us, really sketchy to do a community game with randoms. Because one, I don't know you. Two, you might say horrible things on my stream. I don't want that to happen. And three, it's pretty much impossible to play a game with randoms without voice and Among Us. Like, not a good time. However, Fall Guys, who cares? You don't need to talk. We're just having fun. So out of nowhere, I'm just playing. There's like 10 people, something like that. Out of nowhere, my custom lobby that I hid the code for forever, I opened it up. The guy goes, can you show me your code? I'm like, yeah, sure. I showed it to him. 40 people instantly joined my game. And I'm just like, what is this about? I don't know why, but I was like, F it. We're running it. Let's go. This guy was just, he was cool though. Everybody's cool. But this guy just kept randomly going, see how many red people are in there. And then like when the camera pans out to the game, a sea of red people. All their skins had red. And I was like, what is going on? I later find out some YouTube streamer who's got about 3,000 followers on his channel does these types of games where it's YouTube, which is him and his community, versus Twitch, which is me and my community. So he joined my game and he was just competing, seeing if a red person won. I didn't know until like he goes, after this game, I'll explain why there's all of a sudden 40 people here and there's all red people. And then he's like, you know, go on YouTube and look up this guy's name. I found him and this guy basically promoted me. He was just like, hey, this guy was awesome. And like I got like 10 followers from it just after I hit 900 followers. And they were just like, we had a blast playing with you. It was super cool. And then the guy actually was like, me and you should actually properly coordinate this one day. And you get all of your people in purple outfits, all of my friends in red outfits, and we just see who wins. And I was like, done. So I thought it was cool. Like, that's the kind of weird stuff. So it's weird because I got raided by a YouTube streamer just because he promoted me in his channel and a bunch of his people showed up and followed me. And like one of them subbed to me. He's like, you're hilarious. I'm following and subbing. I was like, it was super cool. I had a great weekend of gaming. So can't complain. And that's tomorrow's game, by the way. If anybody's listening, play more Fall Guys tomorrow. So absolutely. Fee, besides camping in the woods.
Yes.
What did you end up playing?
So other than playing darts, which I'm actually pretty decent at, not gonna lie, I came back and I realized your girl was a little bit behind. And you might be wondering, what were you behind on? I had to catch up to be able to play Dawn Trail. So I had to do
I'm sorry, hold on, not to interrupt though.
Yes.
Is that, do you mean Final Fantasy 14 Super Bowl edition, Dawn Trail, Dawn of Sorrow, Dawn Trail?
Down Feathers?
You mean the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy 14? Yes.
Yeah, Super Bowl edition.
Dawn Trail. Yes.
She wasn't here for the last week. She doesn't get it.
I do not get it. I apologize.
We dove into fakest names of the expansion. Me and Sean just kept adding names to the end of this expansion. So don't worry about it. Go on. Sorry for interrupting.
Goodness. No worries at all. As a random side note, it was incredibly weird. The night that I ended up like going to BC, the reason why is I was coming out of a restaurant and I saw that the Nintendo Drive was starting, and I'm like, it's 6:30. What do you like? Why are you guys already starting? And I'm like, you dum-dum. You're 4 hours behind, and that's usually when the Nintendo Drive starts. And so it was very confusing when the next day I see that you guys start at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And so I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, I don't know what year is it? Like,
It's so good. It's so good living on this side of the country where everything's early. Monday Night Football's over by 9 p.m. I can go to bed like a normal person.
I gotta move out there.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh my gosh. Because like we start the podcast 10 p.m. my time, for context. Not 9, 10 p.m. So it was very confusing. And I think it was not something that I understood. Because even like I was out at dinner last Friday and I was just like, wait a second. Nope, it's 6 o'clock. I'm in Pacific time, so it made sense. So I could not watch you at a fancy sushi restaurant, and I apologize. I would have loved to have checked out the podcast last week. But no, I was behind, so I had to go and play some Final Fantasy 14. So I had to catch up, and that's what I've been doing all week. I have streamed 3 days in a row, and I'm going to be streaming after this to continue.
I thought you were going to just do one stream until you were done, until you were caught up.
Here's the thing. If I didn't have to work the next day, by all means. However, I was assigned to work on some other stuff at work that required me to be awake. And for that reason, I had to cut it off. So I ended up just doing like nightly streams. And by the way, they're not short streams. They're like 5 to 6 hours each. And to the point that one of my friends...
That is a short stream.
Okay, Mitch. When you're starting the stream at 8 p.m., come at me,
No, you're
friend.
right. You're right. Yeah. If it's 8 p.m., I stream for like an hour. I'm like, I'm going to bed. This is ridiculous.
No. I'm streaming until like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Good
so
Lord.
I'm going to be streaming after this podcast. So I might be starting my stream at 12 o'clock, depending on how late this podcast goes. So I've just been kind of overloaded with information. I don't think that's how I would recommend anyone doing post Endwalker, especially with how much lore there is. Of course, you can skip the voice like the non-voice acted scenes. A lot of people are like, this is just filler, but I like to read it even though like it might be considered that way. Mind you, I'm not reading everything because by the time it hits 1 a.m. and my dyslexia is completely taken over, me trying to read out everything any of the characters are saying, especially Bowser, you would know, if I tried to read Urianger at like 2 o'clock in the morning, no one's gonna understand me and people are gonna think I'm actually dying. So
I probably couldn't read it right any time of day.
He's going under.
No, Mitch, he's just like, where art thou? And then he goes into like these like huge like monologues in Old English, and I'm like, I can't do it. I tried once and it was like 4:30 in the morning. And it did not go well for me. So for that reason, I've just been playing Final Fantasy 14. So I just got to Dawn Trail last night. Nice. I made my way over to the new city. We found out the whole championship and trying to figure out what we're doing. So that's what we did last night. Tonight's going to be more of that, of course. And I also did get to play a game before I left. So I do want to give a shout out to... my time in Sandrock, which is a farming.
Game Pass, yeah.
I played a little bit of that too.
I wanted to play that game really badly. I've been wanting to get it actually, but it's like $55 Canadian. And when it's on sale, it's still like $47. And so for the longest time, I'm like, okay, I have too many games. I can't purchase a game. And then when I found out that it was coming to Game Pass, I was flabbergasted. So I played quite a few hours of it, and I was having a lot of fun with it. It was before I went on vacation, though, so I haven't been able to get back into it. So when I get a chance to, I'm definitely going to have to hop back in again because it was a lot of fun. And I've been trying to find kind of another farming sim. Of course, I could go back to Coral Island because there have been a few updates since I last played. And then I will admit, when I was playing Final Fantasy 14, I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I really just want to play Baldur's Gate. So we'll probably be hopping into Baldur's Gate once I catch up a little bit more on Dawn Trail, because we're currently on a little bit of a time crunch because a friend of mine, his raid group starts raiding on the 25th, I believe, and so we have to catch up on Dawn Trail at that point. So you guys are just going to be hearing me talking about Dawn Trail for a long time, until, and I say long time, I mean like the next few weeks or so. So get prepared for that, because if you guys are just like, this seems like deja vu, Fiona's talked about this last episode. Yep, it's gonna happen. But I am trying to like play some other games as well, so by next week I should have played a few others, because I did see that the Case of the Golden Idol came to Game Pass. Yep. So I'm going to be checking that out. I do want to check out Neon White as well. I might check out Tika. So there are a lot of games that are on my radar right now. And I'm just seeing one right now that looks kind of interesting, which is Tin Hearts. I don't know what this is at all, but it looks cute. So I'm definitely planning on checking out some more games. So don't think I'm just going to talk about Final Fantasy 14. Mind you, I am excited about it, but yeah, I want to diversify because I don't want to get completely just sucked into the void of the MMORPG landscape, because I've done that before. So
I'll just say, take your anti-nausea medicine before you play Neon White.
Oh, come on, no.
No, it's first person. You're gonna, yeah.
Yeah. It's first person and fast.
Guys,
it's been real.
Nope. On Neon White.
Yeah.
There are other games I could play. I found out that one of the games that I played during Next Fest is coming out on the 22nd, which is, oh my god, it's like I forget, what is it? The Observer? I don't remember. It's the one that I talked about. It was like the FBI one, and someone pointed it out while I was on vacation that it was coming to like actually being released, and so I was just like, oh man, I really want to play this. I'm gonna remember it in like 5 minutes, and I'm gonna be so mad.
That's all right. You can just shout it out no matter what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Just scream it.
Yeah,
I want to put out me and her on the same page completely. I was like, just yell it. I don't care who's saying whatever.
Chaos.
Just scream it.
We're here for it.
Two different things. One, Fee, good job on animating your little itty bitty character in the bottom left. Good job.
You.
I want to appreciate
Lucas
that.
Did that.
What's that?
My partner did that for me.
Good job. I appreciate an OBS thing, although you don't have a camera, and I guess this is the next best thing, because I'm a big stickler for people on camera. Bowser knows that. She has seen me be so judgmental on streams. It's insane. But good job animating your thing. Two, with this banner being here that I talked about, I look like Wilson from Home Improvement.
Yeah, you do. Good neighbor.
I've been trying to take my head up here.
Okay, Mitch, you need to say Heidi Ho, good neighbor.
Heidi Ho, good neighbor.
There you go.
Thank
Boom.
you. Oh, is that what I gotta do to get rid of it? Oh, got it. Next time that happens, I see you.
Yeah.
Oh God, I literally noticed that. I'm like, people can't see my face. Maybe I'll just stand up taller in the chair a little bit. But then the proper posture. Who wants that?
Next time, just like shrink yourself and move yourself up.
Yeah, you're right. I
just sit on top of the banner.
OBS. I should have just went in OBS just like this and just started slowly raising my body.
I mean, I would love that. You need to definitely do that moving forward. So
either that or I shrink down low and then all of a sudden just my head gets bigger and just bigger out of nowhere.
I'm going to look down and be like,
the
what the
video
heck's
version.
happening?
If you're listening to the audio, go to YouTube on Fridays and watch the video version, please.
Heck yeah.
We do a lot of dumb things here. Oh, God.
All right, before we get completely off the rails,
Yeah.
let's invite some of the community members into the carpool with us. First up, we have Croco Kyle, who says, Happy Friday, y'all. As always, appreciate the time you all take out of your week to podcast. You're welcome. Thanks for listening. What are some of the best games you've ever played on Game Pass that you might not have otherwise played if they weren't included? What do you think, Mitch?
Hellblade.
Yeah?
100%. Not trying to like crap all over that game. It's a phenomenal game. Not my typical game, right? So the fact that it's available there, it didn't cost me anything extra. I got to experience it and I liked it quite a bit. I thought it was cool. That is 100% the game that comes to mind. Just again, I'm not saying I don't play those games typically, but would I have thought, let me stop everything I'm doing to play this game and buy it? Maybe not, right? But the fact it was just available, easiest answer I've ever done. It's such a good game, 1 and 2. And like I said, the other thing too is there's other games that are definitely on Game Pass that fit that same mold for me, that are just like not games that I typically play, but I absolutely should play them. But yeah, the first one that comes to mind was Hellblade instantly. Fantastic game. If anybody hasn't played it, 1 or 2 or both, whatever, go play them. They're great. They take like no time to beat either. Go do it.
All right. Fee, do you have any games that come to mind that you wouldn't have played if they weren't on Game Pass?
You know what? I just answered my own question just a few minutes ago. I would say Sandrock, my time at Sandrock, because of the fact that there are, for context, I believe that there's about 27 or so farming simulators that came out last year, which included things like Coral Island, My Time at Sandrock, and just a number of other ones. I know I ended up going in a deep dive during the Christmas holiday where I was watching essentially cozy streamers rank their favorite farming sims that came out that year. And so there was a lot of them. So as much as I would want to try check out My Time at Sandrock, and it's definitely a game that I would enjoy because of I think the price point right now, and I don't usually like to say that I wouldn't want to buy it. It's just a matter of there's so many other farming sims that I either want to check out or I already own that I don't think I would have, it's been so long that I've been kind of like, I want to buy it, but I'm not going to. I want to buy it, but I'm not going to buy it. So there's stuff like that. There's also other games as well, like Manor Lords, which was a game that I played earlier on this year. It's a game that I was interested in, but it's not a game that I would be going outright to buy because it's not a game that I would usually play. So there's a lot of different smaller things like that, or I say smaller, it was pretty much one of the most wishlisted games ever on Steam, but there's just so many smaller indies as well that I've checked out over the past year or so through Game Pass. So I think it's a lot of just going through, because there are some days where I'm I don't know what I want to play.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to do. Or I'll be on my tablet and I'm watching I have my TV on, but I don't really want to put my full focus on the TV. So I'm you know what, let me cloud game. Let me check out some games that are on there. Why not check them out? So it's just a lot of things like that. Also, I checked out Naraka because it was on Xbox, Game Pass. And I love that game. I'm not a Battle Royale person, but holy moly do I love Naraka. It is a very, very fun game, which I need to get back into. So there's a lot of situations like that. So I have a long list. The TLDR, I have a long list. Here they are. Just list off what I just said.
Yeah, I think for me, the game that comes to mind is Nobody Saves the World. This wasn't really on my radar, but I had some friends in the Discord saying that it was a great game. I don't know. And then they said it was on Game Pass. I'm well, there you go. I can try it and play it for free. And I ended up really liking it. Unfortunately, I started it, and then not too long after that, it was leaving Game Pass. So
did you end up buying it?
I ended up buying it because they were also releasing DLC. So I bought the whole combo pack while it was on sale because it was leaving Game Pass. And then I finished all that. So yeah, that's one that I probably would not have spent the money on. And I really enjoyed it. I'm one of those people that ended up buying the game.
I remember the name of it now. I remember the game. It's The Operator.
Okay.
It's coming out on July 22nd. I love that game. That game messed with my brain, and I had to spend 5 minutes essentially processing the information that I just received. So that's the game. that I'm very excited about, which I don't think there's a pre-order for it, but yeah, I apologize for cutting you off. I just wanted to mention that because I had to go through Discord because they have the fantasy critic on Carpool Gaming. So they had those updates, and someone shouted me out and said, "Hey, look, this is the game that you really enjoyed." And I'm like, "Oh my God, it's coming out." And so I got really excited.
Nice.
There you go.
All right. Next up, we have Nagachaka, who writes in, what's one of the best survival horror games to play through Game Pass Ultimate, and why is it Dead Space Remake?
Okay. I love how he asked the question. Right.
That's his signature.
Appreciate you, buddy. And then you just throw in your answer. I'm not going to say Dead Space. I can't in goodwill say that, only because Resident Evil 2 Remake is there. And Resident Evil 2 Remake, it is pretty awesome. I also want to give a shout out to The Evil Within Part 2, not Part 1. Part 1, you were weird. You were a starter. Your story was weird. Didn't make any sense. Part 2 was pretty awesome, though. Which, real talk, they both play very similar to each other. Also, why the hell is there no category for horror games when you go on Game Pass website to look at all the games they have to offer? If you go to genres, there's no genre that straight up says horror or survival horror, nothing. It's dumb. It's real dumb. But
They don't want you to play the spooky games.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, Evil Within 2 is pretty awesome. But I thought RE4 Remake was on there because it got past the 1 year mark, but apparently it's not. Because if that was on there, that's your answer. RE4 Remake is literally one of the best games. RE4 is one of the best games ever made. Just saying.
V, what's your favorite survival horror game on the old Game Pass?
As a survival horror expert, yeah, the biggest of them all on this podcast. I don't know. I know Subnautica's on there. I'm like, wait, no, it's not Game Pass. Whoops.
Subnautica was it?
I thought Subnautica was. I don't know. It's not.
You can say Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. Dead by Daylight, because that's my favorite game when it comes to survival horror. I mean, it's not a lie. I love that game. It's full of lore, which I'm a huge fan of. So if you want to check out a lore-heavy survival horror game that you can play with friends, which I would recommend, even though Dead by Daylight is a lot of fun, like it can be fun solo, but I recommend playing with friends because it's even better, especially when you get to play as the murderer and you get to kill them. But I digress.
Raise your hand if you're surprised at that statement. If Fee wants to kill her friends.
It's fine.
What a shocker.
No, I would probably say if you want something that's kind of like a little bit spooky, and I guess there's a survival aspect to it, but it's a roguelike, which is like Loop Hero, because it is technically you are going into the darkness and void. But yeah, I think I don't really play too many survival horrors, so I would agree with Mitch on that one. Dead by Daylight for sure for me.
All right. I think my answer is going to be the new one, Still Wakes the Deep. And why is that? Because I don't have to play it. I watched Sean play it.
I was about to say, Sean just got done playing that game, right?
Sean streamed it, so I don't even have to play it. Those are the best kind of horror games.
The ones you don't have to first-hand experience.
The ones I don't have to play. Yep. Can't jump scare me through the computer. I ain't scared.
One of the featured clips on my Twitch channel was me playing RE4 and walking into a door, and the way the camera was, I just didn't see this guy, and it literally just scared. I was just shook on stream, like visibly. I was just like I had a moment on stream, so that's why it's definitely clipped out. So appreciate that.
Yeah,
it's real fun.
Yeah, I like watching people stream scary games and being scared, but I don't like being the one that's scared. So
that's fair.
Nah.
Do you ever get scared watching people play scary games?
You know when it happens is when I'm not like focused on them, like I'm doing something else and just kind of listening, and then all of a sudden they get jump scared and they scream, and I'm like, what happened?
What the hell is going on?
Their scream jump scares me.
Right.
I think one of those games that I got kind of creeped out by when another person was playing it was Danganronpa 1. That game is a little bit of a mind mess. So there are a few... It's I just blame Monokuma for people who've played I'm Danganronpa before, which is a murderous little bear, which you think I would enjoy, but I do not like Monokuma. So, rip. That's my...
Actually, I'm going to change my answer. Bluey the video game. Sorry, go on.
Okay.
Title fool you. You can play it, and there's some wild things you see in that game. I'm just saying.
All right, if you say so. All right. Next up, the good sir is going to lead us into our main topic of the week. Vroom vroom, y'all. Clearly, the big news coming out of the Green Camp this week is the Game Pass restructuring. Mm-hmm. As someone who only plays on Steam Deck, as I don't own an Xbox console, it really has me questioning if I should continue to pay for Game Pass Ultimate. My question is not only how is everyone feeling about it, but also what price features would push you to think about leaving Game Pass? Not getting day one games is big, I think. So, for anyone that's not aware, if you've been living in a bubble this week, Xbox announced some changes to their Game Pass tiers. So now they're going to have Game Pass Core, which gets you online multiplayer, which is a thing that needs to die in a fiery pit. Right. You should not be paying for online multiplayer on any of the consoles, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, like all of you. Go, stop it. Just stop it. I'm mad. Don't do it. Core
bad
also
consoles.
Gets you...
Bad consoles.
Bad. Don't like it. Core also gets you a limited catalog, like 25-ish games. The next one's going to be Game Pass Standard, which gets you everything that was in Core, plus the Game Pass catalog with hundreds of games, but not day one games, added at a future date. And it seems to be just like Xbox Game Studios stuff that won't be the day stuff, one. Yeah, the first party day one isn't going to be there. PC Game Pass, you get the Game Pass catalog, you get day one games, all that fun stuff. EA Play, Riot Games benefits, some more perks, and then Ultimate gets you everything, including cloud gaming. So, of course, they had to bump the price up for Ultimate a couple bucks a month. And the internet's on fire. So, how are we
just
feeling
want to throw
about
it out
this?
there real fast. Apparently, Game Pass Standard, the non-day one stuff, it actually does say selected third-party stuff, too. So, it's not just... So, if you probably catch some, like, one of those third-party deals where it's a wildly popular game that happens to go to Game Pass day one, they'll probably block that, too. How do I... Oh, by the way, So I want to get back to his original question, though, because he asked originally, should I keep paying for Ultimate? Now, here's the question, because I'm stupid. Ready? When you're on Steam Deck, are you cloud streaming the games, or can you do the PC Game Pass stuff?
To do PC Game Pass, you would have to also sideload Windows.
Got
Steam
it.
Deck,
So natively, Steam Deck can actually do the cloud stuff.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. That makes more sense of why he's asking about Game Pass Ultimate,
but yeah,
and not just the Steam Deck.
Either convert it to Windows or dual boot with Windows, then you could have actual PC Game Pass.
Like native Game Pass
native games.
Right.
Yep.
I got you.
Yep.
I already had this in my head that this was going to happen. Sorry, you don't spend $69 billion on the biggest game studio out there and not charge more for it, right? You're telling me you're going to get Call of Duty on there, you're going to get all these Activision games on there day one, and you're not going to charge more? Of course you're going to.
Yeah.
I totally get it. The timing, and this is where Microsoft screws up, you're supposed to announce this on top of dropping stacks of Activision games on it. You got to soften the blow. You can't just come out and go, pay us more.
Yeah.
We're not telling you why yet. Although we told you Call of Duty's happening and whatever, right? I need you to tell me why I need to pay more. Oh, you need to pay more because we just dropped 20 Activision games. Have a good day. By the way, we are going to change the price and you got to soften the blow with these things. You can't just hit people with that and not tell us why the extra needs to be there. Why are you increasing the price? Because you bought a studio or a company worth $69 billion. Tell us why we are increasing this price and justify the reason why.
Of which we have one game on Game Pass.
Right.
Diablo
which
4.
is crazy that they have not announced more yet. Heavily rumored, nothing confirmed, that Modern Warfare 3, the most recent Modern Warfare game that is currently out, the one that just came out in November, is going to come to Game Pass at the end of the month. If it does, I win. I didn't give you money, Activision. Haha. Just saying. That's my own personal victory. But like, that's the one thing. Like, if you do this, people who didn't expect this to happen, I'm sorry, are naive. There's just no way you spend that much money on a company and can't increase the cost when you're adding so much value to the product.
But I think
bound to
part of the
happen.
problem is they haven't added the value.
That's the whole problem. We know
it's
they
coming,
have hundreds
allegedly.
of games they could literally turn around and flip a switch and go, here's 100 more games. That's why we increased the cost $3 a month or whatever, right? You could easily do that. You just can't do this and not give us the extra that you paid the money for. Like, you gotta hit us with stuff. I don't mind the standard $15 a month with the Game Pass. You know, you get hundreds of games, literally hundreds of games, and not the day one stuff. I find it's a little weird, in my opinion. It's a little weird.
I think it's completely ridiculous that Game Pass standard is $15 a month, does not include online games. PC Game Pass is $12 a month and does include day one games.
That should be $11.99.
Make that make
for
sense
both.
to me.
Yeah,
they
both
should
should
be,
of those should be
$11.99.
$11.99.
They should both be $11.99, and B, the standard one should get Game Pass day one first party games.
I agree. I think standard and Game Pass on PC should be identical, right? Because if you're only one and you're not both, choose one for $11.99 a month. You get the day one stuff and all that stuff. I feel that's fair. It's strange that there's a version that costs more on consoles that doesn't include the day one stuff. That's weird. Because if you made both say $11.99 a month, and then they're like, well, here's $20 a month, so you save a little bit of money, and you get both now, you know what I mean? Obviously, the biggest thing with Ultimate, besides getting both, is the cloud gaming stuff. So, I mean, if that is your only option of playing things.
And it gives you access on your console and your PC.
True.
So
But I mean,
both.
like, if
so you
say
kind of get all three realms included.
Right. Let's say, though, you don't own an Xbox, like one of our co-hosts who shall remain nameless, and you just want to go ahead and stream everything cloud streaming. There's zero option. There's one option.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Done.
And it's come up a lot of places. There should be a cloud only tier. I think, like, for a long time, they considered their cloud gaming still beta. Like, they were kind of riding that label for a long time.
Is.
Like, get rid of it and make an actual cloud tier.
Right.
Yep. I can't see just calling for it as well. I think that's how they were able to be successful with the cloud. Like, unlike Stadia, who was like, here it is, it's perfect. And it wasn't. Like, they should have announced it with, started it as a beta. And I think it would have been better received. Xbox did that. And it was like a extra perk. Like, you couldn't just pay for cloud. But I think they're at the point now where they should. Like, you want people to be able to play anywhere, then let them.
It'd be, because you're thinking about the cloud only one. What if there was literally like $11.99 a month PC, $11.99 a month console, $11.99 a month cloud only?
Yeah.
Or $20 for all of it.
Yep.
That's one way. I mean, again, they would have the numbers to know like how many people are using cloud gaming of their Game Pass members, right? They would have that kind of stat. So you would imagine if it was a huge deal, which another piece of news we're going to get to today could make it a very big deal. Just saying. That is something that if enough people are doing it, that could be a solid play of just selling that, right? But at the same time, if people are signing up for $20 a month and nobody's complaining about that, you kind of just shut up and make them pay $20 a month, right? If people are doing it. But I mean, if you sold $11.99 a month just for cloud gaming, I think people could jump on that as well.
Yeah.
If they don't own any Xbox console or a PC that's worth playing games on. they could do that.
Yeah, I think I have two big hangups with what they did here. One, it's announcing this price increase and this tier switcheroo and, removing benefits from just the standard players is you didn't deliver on this promise yet. Like, it's always been this soon Xbox is going to have, at least a first party game every quarter, drop it in a Game Pass and you'll get that. Soon, soon, soon. And it looks like we're going to get it. Like this year, we're on track to have this good cadence, especially with Call of Duty dropping, Indiana Jones, Avowed, we had Hellblade. Like, we're there, but like, give us a round of it before you bump up the price. Give us that drop of Activision games, give us a Call of Duty, and then after that, you can be like, all right, you see how valuable it is? Now we'll bump the price up.
This isn't going into effect though until like
September, I think.
So the only thing is though, September is when all those big hits they're going to start hitting, right?
Where they
Starfield,
start.
Starfield, Indiana Jones, Call of Duty, blah, blah, blah. Like,
give me a good 6 months run of that and then increase the price.
Well, like I said, they're going to hit you with, look what's coming out. Now we're justifying the price increase. Whereas that's the problem is like, if you just hit us with some news on the same day, you got to soften these blows, man. You cannot just like drop that and go, okay, cool. Can we get an idea of when some Activision stuff's happening? And they're just like, I don't know. We only got like 100 games between Xbox One and PC and 360 back compat. We could drop them anytime, but we're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
The day, here's your thing. The day your price increase happens, you better drop them then. How about that?
Something better show up.
How about that? Just do that. And everybody, again, if you give them, we have the future knowledge of like in 2-ish months, this is going to happen. Now, in the next 2 months, a lot can be announced. I just feel you kind of wait till you get it all together. Maybe a Gamescom thing. Hey, again, I made this correlation on a different show. I had a boss who sucked. Okay. She straight up sucked. Here's the reason why. Every single one-on-one meeting I had with this person was, you suck here, you suck here, you suck here, you suck here. It was never, here's where you're good at, here's where you're really good at, here's where you could use some work on, right? Hit me with 2 good news and then tell me I suck. And I won't be as sad, right? It's fine. Xbox just needs to do this. Give us 2 things of awesome, which you could say the game showcase was phenomenal, right? And then the whole Fire Stick thing happened. That's 2 pieces of good news. Here's your bad. Game Pass is going up in price.
But that conference was also making up for the bad news of the studio shutdowns and
Correct.
the layoffs.
So again, but think about it though. Bad news, studio closing. Too good. Now we're at the bad part. We gotta get past the bad part. Give us some 2 good news real fast, please. Give us some Activision games coming out, please. Give us some dates on some other stuff. Like, Gamescom is coming up. We need those 2 pieces of good news fast to get this bad taste of Game Pass costing more out of our mouth, please. Because again, we get those 2 pieces of good news. Everybody will forget about it until September. And they're like, oh, damn it. Forgot about that.
Yep. And I'll say my other complaint with it is it just makes things confusing now. It was always day 1 on Game Pass. Everyone knew what that meant. Well, now it's like, well, which tier is it day 1 on? Which third-party games are not going to be day 1 on standard? Which ones are, since it's only select third-party that won't be there? Look, I gave PlayStation a hard time with their PlayStation Plus tiers and what goes into each one and the confusion over that. Their social media posts when they drop new games are not clear which tier you need to play those games. Xbox, do better. You were simple, and now you're making it weird.
Yeah. I think the $11.99 and everything being the same would have been easy, right?
Yeah.
$11.99 for PC-only Game Pass, for Xbox-only Game Pass. $11.99. Everything, you get everything the same. Everything's fine. $20, you get everything. That would have been a little bit easier than this other version. Also, that $10 version needs to just stop happening. Yeah. I'm actually really shocked that's still an option. Like
they do it because people pay it. People pay it because they don't have an option. Like, you want to play online, that's what you have to do. It's awful.
It's weird. It's really weird. I mean, Granted, now the only thing that's fair is the only thing that annoyed me so much is when people like before when like PlayStation and Sony were free and Xbox cost money. And I used to just be like, do you realize how infinitely better Xbox Live is than PlayStation Network and Nintendo's network, right? Like there's a reason why you pay for it because it's great. And PlayStation Network sucks. And Nintendo barely functions. Like, you know this, right? Like there's a reason. Now everybody pays. And to be honest, I don't know why we pay for Nintendo Online. That still sucks. But like PlayStation, you know, obviously PlayStation's significantly better.
Animal Crossing Islands. That's why.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. Like
I just feel games.
I feel that Game Pass Gold, it would have been a good decision for them to kind of do goodwill and just be like $11.99. We're gonna get rid of $10 a month. We're going to do $11.99, make that Xbox only version that has Game Pass, but that's your gold, right? Technically, you're still you're getting the cost of gold up by making everybody who would pay $10 a month pay the $11.99 a month and just, you know, kind of make up for the cost of the $14.99 down. Just make $11.99. Here's your console version. Here's what it comes with, all that stuff. I also do want to shout out to Microsoft. For the longest time, they were the last console that charged you for Xbox Live to play free-to-play games. Thank God Phil got rid of that, because that was such a blemish on Xbox. Like paying to play Fortnite when you could play it on PlayStation and Nintendo for free because it was free to play. That's actually the more like, why is that a thing? Like why is this a thing? Get rid of the $10 one, make it $12, and just say this is your Game Pass version for Xbox.
Look, if there's some inherent cost to keep things like the Xbox, I don't know, friends list working. I don't even know exactly why they're charging you for online access. Whatever that magic is,
right?
Then it should just be in the price of the game when you buy it.
Yeah, it's just really, that's a strange
I hate
thing. Yeah, that's one thing. I do like in the graphics that I've seen. Everybody's like, don't worry, PC's still free. Like, no shit, we already know that.
Yeah.
It's been free forever, dude. What are you talking about?
So
like, we don't have to.
How does Steam pay for their servers to provide that service?
I mean, Steam has its own thing.
Because Steam just makes money on every game.
That's what I mean.
Sold.
Like,
Xbox
they're not charging anyone a subscription to like be able to invite their Steam friends to play online games. I don't know. It makes me angry. Fee, as our resident cloud expert, what do you think? If someone only plays cloud, should they keep paying $20 a month for Game Pass?
Here's the thing. I definitely agree with the fact that there should be just a cloud tier and have like a cloud option. However, as someone who plays on cloud, on PC, like on a bunch of other things, as well as having the access to day one, it made sense. And I feel like what we saw at Summer Game Fest was a hint. It was foreshadowing into what was about to happen. Everyone was super excited. We saw 20 games, day one Game Pass, day one Game Pass, day one Game Pass, day one Game Pass, day one Game Pass. And I feel like, and I mean this is no insult to anyone. I think it's very naive going in, like coming out of that showcase thinking that there wasn't going to be a pay increase. There was so much there. And them like constantly saying like we're going to be doing so much more. And they're also with the fact that they are bringing these games to day one, it makes sense why they're doing it. Because there's so many large games that are going to be coming out within the next 2 years. Because that was the biggest thing was, of course, we saw some games that didn't have release dates, but a lot of them did within the next year or so. So it made sense why there is going to be a small increase. And I know it sucks, but at the same time, we're seeing this with every other streaming service right now. We've seen it with Netflix. We've seen it with Amazon, which don't get me started on Amazon Prime because holy moly, they are a whole other problem. Like there's Disney, like everyone has a streaming service at this point and all streaming services are currently rising. And yes, it is definitely not ideal. And I do understand some people questioning if they should continue to pay for it. I think for people who do a lot of things like what I like, even though I don't have a console right now, I do cloud stream. I do use my PC. So it makes sense for me to pay that. And I get it. Like I am paying a premium. But I also am not buying a bunch of games. I know a lot of people are doing that and they're buying it on other consoles. They're buying it on Steam. They're buying it on a bunch of other areas. Whereas for myself, all I've been doing is just playing Game Pass. So.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's up to every individual. I mean, I think I get more angry when I look at the comparison chart and like what you get in each tier and why is this different when it shouldn't matter to me, like what somebody else is paying. For me, it's ultimate or bust, right? I want the access everywhere. I want day one games. I want the ability to cloud stream when I'm away from home. That's where I'm at. And I also use Microsoft Rewards points to get 3-month Game Pass Ultimate codes. So there is a cheaper option. You put in 5 minutes a day and you're well on your way to having free Game Pass. So that leads me to another topic that there was a feature where you could have your Game Pass automatically renew using your rewards points. And people started getting notifications today that that is stopping. From what we can gather, because there's like not much official information out there, it seems like they're just like stopping it because they're going to change the point redemption amount because the price is going up. So I think that's what's happening here. As of yet, like I frequently do the 3-month Game Pass codes. Like I redeem my points for that, and that's still available. I'm surprised that didn't go up the last time we had a price increase. So I assume that it will this time. Last time they kind of like restructured how you earn points. So it was a little bit more challenging to get all of the points, but we'll see what they do. I don't think the world's on fire yet with that. Everyone just needs to like calm down a little bit. Let's see what it is. I think it's a temporary halt until these new prices take effect, and then they'll reinstate it with the new points amounts.
2 questions. Is that on Game Pass Ultimate?
I assume you could do it with whatever, just based on however many points it takes.
Okay. One thing we didn't touch on is that the fact that Game Pass for Xbox, Game Pass for console, it's no longer a thing, right? Yeah. So the OG version of Game Pass for console that is currently there right now is no longer going to be offered to new people. However, the only thing that's cool that Microsoft isn't screwing all these people over is if you have that on auto renewal, you will continue to have that level of membership that has day one games and all that stuff included for that price.
Also auto renewal, like from your credit card.
Correct. So that's the thing I was going to mention, though, is that this straight up says members who are already subscribed to Game Pass console and have automatic payment renewal enabled will be able to continue it. So they're not going to allow people from here on out to sign up for that level of service anymore. It's not there anymore, right?
Yeah, you're kind of grandfathered in.
But if you're grandfathered in, at least they're not, 1, making you change it to a higher level of cost, and 2, canceling it outright, right? They're straight up saying, we'll let you keep doing this. So if you have it, you better keep that credit card up to date, bro. That's all I'm saying. Like, you better make sure that you get a new card for fraud. You get an expired card. You better get in there.
Feels like all of like the cell phone plans that like actually had unlimited data, but then like all the carriers found ways to make you eventually get off those plans.
Yep. That's all I'm saying. You better make sure all cards get updated. You better tie it to something that'll never expire. Something, dude. You better get that figured out. But no, I mean, he's right, though. Like I said, if anybody saw that conference and literally goes, Game Pass will stay the same price, you're crazy. Sorry.
I think it should have stayed through the end of the year. Deliver on your promise and then charge me. Because I've been paying, quote, paying faithfully for years now. Deliver, then increase.
I'm not upset that I really, if they changed it today, I wouldn't care. If they gave me that big stack of games to make me not care, right?
Yeah.
If they straight up said, today, Game Pass costs more. Today, we give you 50 new games on top of this.
Yeah.
No one complains. No one literally is like, they're just gonna be like, I'm gonna go play Call of Duty again. Thank you, guys. Oh, it's $3 more? Who cares? I just think that's the problem.
Full disclosure, this price change does not affect me until at least December 4th, 2026.
By the way,
because I got it stacked. And that's another thing. They're not going to let you stack more than a year going forward.
To be clear, just to be clear, that is only on the Game Pass standard version. It's not on Ultimate. It doesn't mention anything on Ultimate specifically for that. So I was seeing it somewhere in here, right here. Game Pass for console codes will continue to be redeemed. As of this date, though, the maximum extension limit for Game Pass for console will be 13 months. Oh. It's just Game Pass for console.
Oh, so the grandfathered tier.
The grandfathered tier that you can go buy codes for still because they haven't gotten rid of them yet. Those you can only stack up to 13 months.
Right. Until that, what is it, September?
Yeah,
Is the
as of
cutoff
September
date?
18, 2024, the maximum extension limit for Game Pass for console will be 13 months. This will not impact any time you currently have stacked in your account that exceeds 13 months and will only impact future ability to stack more than 13 months after September 18th. Again, that's only Game Pass for console, though.
Okay.
Ultimate, go nuts. Have fun.
Right, I'm nuts, so we're good.
Yep. The one thing I will say also, and again, I don't know how some people feel about these sites, CD keys, just want to throw it out there. I got a whole year of Xbox Live, Game Pass Ultimate on CD keys for like $110 the other day. So,
and pay attention, like Black Friday, it's usually cheaper than. It hasn't been as good as the last couple years, but it's still better than like full retail price. We'll just say that.
I don't, like I said, some of those CD keys, CD keys websites, some people get weird about, and I totally get it because sometimes you look at that and go,
yeah, but Black Friday you could get like 3-month codes on at like Target and Walmart and such. So
but yeah, like I mean, like I said, I just look out on those sales, stack up on those sales when you can. That's the best deal you can do. Also follow Cheap Ass Gamer and Wario64 on Twitter because they very much love to tell you when things go on sale.
And Xenobabes is another one.
It's literally the only people I have notifications on for Twitter. That's it.
I don't go
because I want them to tell me.
I'd be broke if I followed all. I'd like unfollow Wario because it was getting out of hand.
Right. I get it though. I get it.
It's on sale. I gotta buy it.
Yeah. You have that FOMO for sure. But no, that's the thing is like it's kind of, just look out for when things are on sale. Again, I get it. It sucks. Stack as much as you can when it's on sale. It's the best I can say. I'll tell you, if it's on sale, just like I said, follow those people. I don't know how Sean will feel if I just post in the game, hey, CD keys has it cheap, because some people don't like those sites. Just a heads up, I've bought things off CD keys. I've never had anything, credit card information stolen. There's other websites that are like that look way more sus that I'm like, ugh, I don't like this. But no, CD keys is good. Whatever. That I've had good experience with it. And I like I said, the other day it was on sale. I think it was like $22 for 3 months. That's and ridiculous. I went nuts. And I was like, how many can I buy at a time? And it was 4. So I bought 4. And then I forgot my daughter. I also paid for her Game Pass. So I waited a day and I went bought another 4.
That's another thing that could have softened this blow. Family memberships.
Bro.
They talked about it a long time ago. That would be some good news. But it's not going to help me unless I decide to share it with somebody, But right now I'm just paying for myself. So
yeah, you can find somebody you trust to split
find
that.
A friend.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did with the Nintendo online thing. I'm like,
yeah, everybody does that.
It's
Nintendo.
like 10. It's like,
so there's
what?
Like
10.
Got all kinds of random family members on that.
My brother-in-law in Minnesota, I'm just like, you want Nintendo online? I got space. No, dude. If Family Game Pass got announced, say $40 a month for 6 people, I'd be happy with that.
Yep.
But add their mobile games. That's not that is going to play in once they start Activision stuff. Best believe you'll get some Candy Crush bonuses. You know what I'm saying? Best believe that'll happen. You'll get some free bonuses with Candy Crush. Also, too, he had mentioned as well as like the mobile app that they're talking about, like the storefront for Xbox on mobile, where they're gonna have like their own games that they're gonna offer, like the App Store and all that stuff, but it's gonna be through Xbox on mobile phones. That's another thing that I feel is gonna be a good thing to help promote that. But again, that's the problem. All we got was we're increasing the cost. Not what our give me a roadmap. Give me a roadmap. Taking things away
and increasing costs.
Yeah, it's just strange. It's strange. But again, 2 good, 1 bad. This is 1 bad. We got 2 good coming up soon, guys.
Yep, let's go.
2 good. That's all we can hope for is 2 good. 2 good news. This is our bad news day, but it's all right.
Any final thoughts on this one, Fee?
It was inevitable.
Yep.
That's my TLDR. I know I was slightly harsh earlier, but yeah, that's the only thing I can think of when it comes to this. And I know it kind of it definitely sucks, especially with all the layoffs that have been happening. And then we haven't seen day 1 releases have been a little spotty. in the past few years, especially with what we saw with, why can I not remember its name right now? It literally just came out last fall. Starfield. Exactly.
Great job.
Yeah, so it's
Teamwork.
like teamwork. It's just it's frustrating in a way. It makes sense. I know for myself, once I start paying for it again, it's gonna be about $27 Canadian a month for Game Pass Ultimate, because it's more expensive in Canada. So it's definitely gonna be difficult for sure. And so it's very interesting to see what's going to be happening over the next few months, and hopefully they do announce some more things. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Add those mobile games that Game Pass. Yeah, there's been so many games coming to Netflix and Apple Arcade, as well as like YouTube gaming. I was like going through my YouTube the other day and it was just like, play this. And I'm like, what do you mean play this? And I clicked on it and it was an actual game. And I'm like, whoa. And then I closed it because I'm like, this isn't what I wanted.
I'm getting frustrated with Netflix exclusive games.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't like
That's
it.
weird.
I don't like exclusive games to begin with. It's bad for people.
Right.
But I understand
Valid.
that that's how it goes. So, yeah. I wish I could buy some of the games that are Netflix exclusive mobile games, but here we are.
Valid.
Yeah, I wouldn't
All
mind
right,
Xbox getting that app going out though. Give us just like exclusive mobile games if you want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to do that, try to compete with them too. That'd be nice.
Yep. Mitch, did you get any new toys this week?
I did.
What you got?
So I just want to point out something. Phil, thanks for listening to the Xbox Drive, because I told you better get that app out before Prime Day. And guess what? Y'all did. I bought myself this Fire TV,
Woo!
4K Max.
Woo!
Now, do I need it? No. No, I got like every smart TV on earth. I got a bunch of things. I just wanted to try it out because it was like $35 or something. And I was like, you know what? I'll write it off on my taxes as an expense for me using it on this show that I don't make money on. Don't listen to the show, IRS. Phil, keep listening to the show. IRS, get out of here. Go watch the PlayStation Drive. Anyways, I got myself a Fire TV. I wanted to literally just test this out, right? Also, by the way, I have a couple Fire TVs that are just old. Like, they're just older. And by the way, those things, I don't want to talk bad about these things, but after like a year, they seem to slow down worse than iPhones do. It's the worst thing in the world. They get so slow so fast, and I don't know why. But this guy, I hooked it up to my TV here, my LG 4K OLED TV. Will say has all sorts of awesome things, Dolby Atmos, like really nice video, 4K, all that jazz. Pretty easy to set up. Here's the cool thing I'll say. If you actually order it from Amazon, don't ask how they do this, but they preload it with your own stuff already. So when you plug it in, it already has your login and all that done. To which I say, thank you. But what the hell? Like, how do you, like, what are you talking about? I turned it on and it literally goes, hi, Mitch. I'm like, first off, that's wizardry. How'd you do that? How'd you do that? But it was also kind of nice because I didn't have to do some stupid scan code and do it. It was a weird convenience I was happy to have, but at the same time, I didn't like it. Got it. Downloaded the Xbox app right away. Of course, it had like all sorts of updates. Grabbed my normal Bluetooth controller, normal Xbox controller, hooked straight up. The one thing I will say, for the console-less experience, for how it treats it like a console, is actually cool. Okay. Download the app. I don't have a controller hooked up. It literally treated me like it was an Xbox console. It's like, turn on the controller, had animations for everything. Turn on the controller, hold this button, searching for Bluetooth controllers. Is this the right one? Hit A on the controller, confirm it. Yes, you're in the app with the controller. It was awesome. I was like, for this being just all cloud, I thought I would have to go into like all these, Fire Stick menus to get the controller synced and all. No, it did it all through the app, which I was like, that's slick as hell. Because literally you made it feel like this was a console, right?
Yeah.
I will say the login experience is cool. Like, I mean, you can do the whole, like just scan your phone on the QR code, log in with your phone. It, queues everything up. Obviously, you have your full selection of games. Certain things I've heard people complain about with cloud gaming, and I'm sure Fee has way more experience with this. Waiting to get into a game because you have to wait for space. I want to be clear. I did not have to wait for any time. Okay. Every game I chose, jumped right in. Okay. The only thing I'll say is, and also big caveats. This, which is the one that I bought, has Wi-Fi 6E, which is currently the highest standard Wi-Fi you can have in your home, right? I have a $700 Eero Wi-Fi setup in my house that is 6E. So it is literally perfect, right? I did a speed test on this thing. It pulled in the max speed that my wired connection does. It's awesome. That being said, I tried Fortnite on it. Okay. Because no. No. Cloud gaming, as awesome as it is, the latency with shooters, I can't do. I'm so used to instant reactions. It's just not there. And I got into a fight and I fought a bot Bowser and I beat that bot. I'm so glad I wasn't streaming. Let's just say that. It was embarrassing because I would go to like correct my aim and I would just start like overcorrecting like crazy because I'm so used to it like instantly going that I'm holding it longer and it catches up and I'm just over aiming everybody. Yep. So for shooters, which is my games that I play all the damn time, not really. Yeah. If you want to play, here's what I'll say. If you're going to do like a campaign on easy, go for it. I bet you'll be okay. Because those enemies won't try to, they're not as sophisticated as, somebody playing Fortnite cranking 90s on you and stuff, right? But like, I played Forza Horizon 5. Also want to point out, visually, gorgeous. Visually looks fantastic. Like, slight artifacting, slightly, depending on how fast your movement is, slight artifacting. But nothing that like, again, I paid $35 for this thing, right?
Yeah.
It's insane for the performance I get for $35. Again, big caveats. I have the exact Wi-Fi this thing matches up with. I have it. By the way, it was sitting on next to my router. Like my router's right there. The Fire Stick was literally almost touching it. So it had no interference with Wi-Fi. I gave it the best case scenario possible just to see how the latency was and things like that. Shooters is the only thing that is like rough just because of how precise you gotta be with stuff, right?
But I also wonder if someone doesn't play a lot of shooters, if they would notice it.
No. And that's what I'll say. So like
you play Call of Duty and Apex like all the time.
Yeah,
and very well.
That's me.
Right, you're playing ranked and moving up the ranks and stuff, but it's someone that like...
Are you saying like if a person who's never played Fortnite before would notice like how the latency is?
Yeah.
Honestly, I would say...
that's how the game plays.
No, maybe that's a fair point, right? I'm so trying to be pinpoint accurate with stuff that I overcorrect and everything. So that is actually a very good point. I would say... Still maybe though. Fortnite was not, man, it was a lot of overcorrecting and stuff. I felt Forza was less chaotic. Like Forza was, not as bad. There's again, I notice it because I know it's there, right?
Right.
So I'm hitting it and I notice there's still a little delay. But also I suck at racing games, so it could just been my piss poor driving. Who knows?
See?
It's could have been all the above. But for the experience that you get, also too, there's a full guide. You hit the guide button on the Xbox controller, guide comes up, friends lists there. You can join parties.
Yeah.
You can do like all these things. And I was so shocked about all of that because I just thought play games, have a good day. I didn't even think about the whole social aspect of it, of like you seeing your friends list, you inviting them to games, just like you were actually playing a console, like party, all these things. And again, I personally, this is my first experience doing cloud on like that type of stuff, right? I've done it on PC. I have a Samsung TV in the other room that could have done it. I just never tried it. And I was just like, I want this to be like, this thing is going to be sold like crazy in a week. This thing's going to be nuts. So yeah, I'm very excited because that will absolutely help sell some Fire Sticks for sure, and then also obviously help sell some Game Pass stuff. The overall experience, though, I was actually surprised just because of the setup of it. I was surprised that how the games didn't take long to load, really. Like some of the games, didn't take long to load. Fidelity looked really, really good for a $35 device. Which one did I get? I got the Fire Stick 4K Max. The other one that you can do is the Fire Stick 4K, just the regular one. The only difference between this one and the Max is that better Wi-Fi I was talking about. That's it. The actual device itself is the same. I did buy two just because I was going to replace a Fire Stick out in the backyard. But again, I'm trying to give you guys all the scenarios I have to tell you what my experience is. Like, again, I have the matching Wi-Fi. It was right next to the router. I'm trying to give you every benefit of the doubt of like how good my experience was. Depending if you have a 10-year-old router and it's upstairs and you're downstairs, your experience may vary. I can only tell you the experience I had, and I was pleasantly surprised. Would I play shooters on it? No. That's just me. Competitive shooters, which is my main game, I can't personally recommend it just because if I told Buzz to go play that, he would tell me to go to hell. And I get it. Just to be fair.
Buzz play Call of Duty on it just for
yeah,
funsies.
Buzz would play Call of Duty on it and go, man, get out here with this shit. And I totally get it. I totally get it. But other games, though, like other games that don't require as precise movements, honestly, I would imagine this being so well. Like it would work so well playing those types of games that don't require those like pinpoint accurate movements or anything like that. Platformer games. I mean, turn-based games. I don't know how it would suck on a turn-based game, right?
It doesn't.
Like it doesn't. There's like no way it could suck
confirm.
on a turn-based game at all. Or like I said, the farming simulator games, like all those types of games like that too, where there's just not that like
anything's just a little bit slower than your.
It's just slightly slower
shooters.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and like I said, my experience with what I play, it would be very rough. But if I'm looking down this list of like, Hellblade would be perfect. Hellblade it's not that precise to where you could have a slight delay with stuff. And not to mention Hellblade's combat is very forgiving when it comes to like blocking and stuff like that. So, I mean, it almost would play really well on that stuff. Other racing games would be fine. Little Kitty Big City, I'm sure plays just great. I'm sure plays just great on that thing. Games like Madden and sports games, again, depending on how competitive you are, maybe Minecraft would work perfect. Like there's just, there's a lot of games that I feel would work really well in this. Just not Neon White, not based off what I'm being told with Neon White. Probably not. Again, the fact that it's an option on a device that costs you $35, you really can't complain.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm not upset that I bought it. I'm not upset that I tried it. It only cost me $35 and it's a good experience.
I think Starthene is asking which one in particular that you purchased, Mitch.
4K Max. 4K Max. Yep. Again, you can do the 4K or the 4K Max. The only difference is the Wi-Fi. One of them is the Wi-Fi 6. One of them, the other one's Wi-Fi 6E, which is that higher standard Wi-Fi. That is literally, I'm almost certain that's the only difference between the two devices.
Yep.
And on sale, I think it's only like a $5 or $10 difference in price. So it has to be the 4K one, though. It can't be like the Fire Stick Lite. It has to be at least the minimum, like the normal 4K one.
Yep.
So if you do that, that'll be perfectly fine for you.
Yep. Awesome.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You can buy some of these fee.
So I already have my Samsung TV already has Xbox Cloud.
Okay.
So I don't think I'm going to, mostly because I do have like my Steam Deck. I already have cloud gaming set up on it. I have it set up on my iPad already. If I had a secondary TV, yes, but since I don't, no, for the time being, but who knows, maybe in the future I do end up getting a secondary TV. I don't know where I'd put it. Maybe in my bedroom, but
Stack them.
I think
That's what we do around here.
Just two of them, two TVs stacked up, because why not? I think I have a 65-inch TV in my living room. I don't think I can add another one vertically, but who knows?
You'd be surprised. Worked at my house.
Oh, Maybe in the future then. But I think it's one of those things where I definitely agree with what Mitch was saying. I know I've had issues in the past. I think my only, like, I guess comparison would be if if they ever brought, let's say, like, Overwatch 2, which is like a shooter that I play somewhat frequently. So I couldn't imagine playing something like Overwatch or things like that on cloud gaming, but a lot of the games that I play anyway aren't fast paced. So I definitely agree with Mitch's points. Like, a lot of the games that I do play on cloud gaming are turn based, or just kind of small adventure games or farming simulators and stuff like that. So I don't play super heavy things. I know but mind you, when came to Stadia, it played Cyberpunk really, really well. But I haven't tried out any kind of like graphically heavy any things on at least my television yet. I know on my iPad I've played a few kind of like pushing the realm of like things like Control and stuff like that, which is a little bit more graphically heavy, which is great. However, I definitely could not imagine trying to play a first person shooter on cloud gaming. I think within the next year or so, they probably can find a way to stabilize it a little bit better. It's just also, I personally wouldn't gauge it on trying to play a battle royale with 100 other people in the lobby.
Worst case scenario.
That's a little bit of a choice. So when Mitch was just like, oh yeah, like I could understand like an 8-person lobby or something like that, but
well, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter how many people are there, because that part is done on the server blades, right? Yeah. It's no matter what game you're playing, it's the latency of your button presses to get to that server blade before it starts reacting. So that happens in every game. So,
oh, Mitch,
dogs are going nuts. Yeah, I was gonna say it's literally just the latency and the movement. That's it. Go on. I'm gonna deal with barking dogs.
No worries. But yeah,
Yep.
I definitely for the time period I'm not going to. Mostly also I'm trying to recover from vacation. However, vacation money. But I know I was telling Sean Prime Day is literally 3 days away. So I would hold off, especially since it is an Amazon product.
Yeah,
So
they're
there's
already
a high
on sale. They're like part of the like Prime early deals, but I
Oh.
doubt it'll be any more expensive next week for Prime Days. That's all I'll
True.
say.
So for people who are listening, next week, the week of July the 15th, you still have an opportunity. For people who are listening to this 2 months down the line, we cannot guarantee that these are on sale anymore. So I apologize. Do not come at us and try to get us to pay the difference, because we're not going to do it. We're not doing
There's no price
discounts
guarantees here.
No price guarantees.
We don't do that.
Not at all. Not at all.
One thing I actually thought about doing, because I did buy 2, just in case. If I actually don't need one of these, this one's still sealed. Maybe I can do a giveaway.
Yeah.
Maybe to the community. Just saying.
Yeah. Maybe
go.
Extra Life,
Maybe Extra Life. Get yourself some of that. I also, for the research for Star Athena, I did some research. The only 2 differences between the Fire Stick 4K and the Max, the better Wi-Fi, the Alexa voice remote enhanced.
Ooh.
Who gives it? Nobody cares. You're not going to use it. You're playing with an Xbox controller. And then also a Fire TV ambient experience. Who cares? So and currently right now, Fire Stick 4K is on sale for $25. The Max is on sale for $35. My biggest thing I would tell you, if you have the better Wi-Fi, get the Max, obviously, just because we're literally talking about the low latency that you want. So you want the best Wi-Fi on human Earth. So yeah, go ahead and get that one for $10 more. But literally $25 right now. It's not even Prime Day. It's $25 right now. It's normally $50.
I'm just picturing Mitch chasing his dogs with his phone in his hand while he's researching, and he's like yelling at the dogs while looking at his phone. I'm shocked you didn't stub your toe.
No. I had the research here already before my dog started losing my mind. My wife comes home and my dogs just get super happy.
Fair.
That's what happens. Exactly. Very valid.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might pick one up, put it on the bedroom TV. I have an older Roku TV it's not so snappy, I guess. So maybe I'd just upgrade my streaming experience as a whole, but also give myself the ability to play those games. So
Yeah, I
One
think that's a
thing
good
that I will
controllers.
say,
What's
I
up?
will say that's really nice on the Amazon website right now. I'm on the 4K one, the $25 one, right above the title. Have a Fire
Yep.
TV. Now you can play Xbox.
Yep.
Says it
They're pushing it.
straight on the page, right up front. And then also it's like, we want you to know to benefit from Wi-Fi 6, a compatible Wi-Fi 6 router, blah, blah, blah. They have like these
Yeah.
things to play Xbox games on the Fire TV and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Also, I forgot to mention this. In the setup of the cloud streaming thing, when you go to do the controller, it actually asks you, do you have a DualSense? Do you have an Xbox controller?
Yeah.
Like it asks you what type of controller you have, which I thought was also very cool of them to not just be like, go buy an Xbox controller, right? Like that's the coolest thing is like, straight up, if you have if you've wanted to explore what Xbox has to offer and you've only had a PlayStation your entire life, use that DualSense, $25. Get Game Pass for a month, try it out before it goes up in price.
Yeah. I mean, I literally have cloud gaming on my iPad.
Nice.
So I can
Yeah.
just click on any of these games and be like,
Now,
Mind you, I'm not
where
saying
I think things could start getting better, and this is just my opinion, give us remote play on that, please.
Yeah.
Please make that thing do remote play with a console. So if someone in the living room's wanting to play something and mom's in there watching Criminal Minds, you know what I'm saying? See how he perked up? Just saying. Remote play console or just, local network.
So I can play the games
Second.
I bought
Yep.
in another room.
Yeah, 100%. That's the thing I'll say that like on my phone, sometimes, for example, if I'm in bed and I'm like, hey, what's in the store? I can go on the website. But sometimes what I'll do is I'll pull up my phone, go to the Xbox remote play. And by the way, I appreciate you, Xbox, so much adding basic touch controls to any game where it just has the normal button. Thank you so much. Because I hated that completely when I had to have a controller to do anything remote play. That was trash. So thank you for adding just basic A, B, X, Y and a D-pad so I can navigate a menu. I appreciate you. But if they added that remote play to that thing, and again, just find local stuff. I'm not saying you have to do it over the internet. Find local consoles just like my phone does. That would be the ultimate, like, big game changer to have access to. Although, by the way, it's weird. I don't know if you've ever tried. You ever tried doing a back compat game on remote play? It don't work. It don't work. It yells at you and says, nah, you can't do this. To which I go, why? Why can't I do that? This is ridiculous. But I if you added that, that would be ultimate game changer. I think that would just be, you could sell it as a second console somewhere else in the house for you to play stuff. It would just, you can sell it quicker. There were also the rumors of like cloud gaming allowing us to have the games we paid for through
that
cloud.
was supposed to happen.
Yeah, that's supposed to happen. But yeah. Wasn't Xbox supposed to make a Wi-Fi controller? There was, when all of the rumored stuff got leaked with hardware, there was another controller that was being talked about. I don't know necessarily if it had Wi-Fi directly built in. That would be kind of cool if you ask me. Maybe it would have better connection or something. Just want to throw it out there. The Bluetooth controller that I had 0 issues with connectivity, at least, right? I didn't feel like the controller dropped or nothing like that. But yeah, there was a new controller that was shown off when all that hardware stuff leaked of like the diskless Series X, all those there was a new controller that was shown off, but I don't know where that is or if that's still a thing.
The Stadia controller was Wi-Fi.
Right.
So it like removed one hop from your path. Like it communicated through your router up to the server instead of controller to Chromecast to router to server.
That's cool. And I mean, that could easily be like a version of the controller they sell. Or, I mean, I don't know how cheap that would be to just put it in the other controllers, but then you'd have 3 different radio frequencies in that thing. You'd have the Xbox, Bluetooth, and then the Wi-Fi version. So it'd be a lot, but I wouldn't put it again. If cloud gaming, if this literally takes that cloud gaming usage and just skyrockets it, best believe you'll start seeing them put a lot more money and features and accessories into making that better. So wouldn't put it past them. Again, if that solved the latency problem, that would be
It's
incredible.
not going to solve everything.
It's not going to solve everything. But if I could actually play Fortnite and feel competitive, that'd be kind of cool, right? I wouldn't get upset about that, just saying. But yeah. Overall, though, I had a great experience. And like I said, for $25, you can try it out, whatever. Again, what Fee said, we are not responsible for Amazon not putting these things on sale. If you bought it and it's not on sale, it's because you said, oh, the Xbox Drive said it was $25. We're not paying you back money. Sorry, you missed the sale. Sucks to suck. Check back Black Friday. There you go.
All right.
That's all I'll say.
I think that's it for this week. Anybody have anything else before we take care of some business here?
Yeah, let's take care of some business.
All right, let's do the most important thing. Let's shout out our patrons. I want to thank our ultimate producers, Jonathan Brown, the man behind the music on this show and the PlayStation Drive. You can find him at linktree/pme.jib. And Cwagmire, who reminds you that the best babes are Xenobabes. Very much agree. Our platinum producers, Smokin Joe, the Captain, and Tim Paullin. Gold members, and Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave, BobLoblaw, Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, CowboyDangerD, Dan and Luma, Dannohh, Drellesh, Emily O'Kelly, Hoppel, Jan32, Kia Savoy, Patrice Mallette, Peje EP, Shane Erickson, Tech Mike, and Tim Aulph. We want to thank you very much for supporting our show. Mitch, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me everywhere at MitchPower1116, just like it says right here. If you guys don't know how to spell it, it's right here. I do a ton of different things on Twitch. Unfortunately, I'm going on vacation, so next week might not be the best time to tune in because I won't be there. But we're going to be doing community games every Saturday. This Saturday, tomorrow, we're going to be doing Fall Guys. If you want to go have some fun, make sure you guys are there. I'm on my road to 1,000 followers. Again, great weekend. Jumped up to 925. Super happy. Thank you for everybody who stopped by. Also, Star Athena, you were one of the people, I believe, that offline after the show ended last week, followed me to get me to 900. I believe that was you. If it wasn't, anyways, I think you're awesome. So thank you so much for following me to help me get to 900 off stream. So thank you for that. But no, everywhere, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, MySpace, MitchPower1116.
Fee, where can people find you on the interwebs?
People can find me over on my Twitch at twitch.tv/Ceranics. I'm going to be streaming 10 minutes after this podcast ends. So I am going to be streaming for a few hours, some good old Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail. I am on the road to hit 800. So if you can, go check me out over on my channel. Yes, I am currently using a PNG tuber because you know what? I turn up my fan when I'm streaming and it is hot here, guys. It's hot and humid. So PNG tuber is going to stay, and now it's animated. We're animated now, so you can see my little character with some sunglasses being a rude dude, and just jamming out. And sometimes we randomly wear a chicken hat, and I'm not going to specifically say the title of what you need to click on to be able to get that because I don't want to get in trouble on this podcast. So, yeah, 10 out of 10. We love to see it. It's a lot of fun.
I got some guesses.
So drop by and say hello if you can. So that's twitch.tv/Ceranics. You can also find me over on Twitter at the same title. Of course, you can check me out over as well over at Point in Progress on Wednesdays, where we are doing some live streams now. So there's going to be different events, different stream schedules, all sorts of stuff. I definitely didn't miss my meeting this week for Point in Progress, and I'm definitely not signed up for a bunch of streams now that I did not know until just
you got
10 minutes.
Voluntold? Nice.
Oh, I got voluntold. And you know what? I'm going to call up my co-hosts. Y'all were watching my stream and none of y'all said anything. So that is probably them trying to find a way to sign me up for things anyway. So yeah, thanks guys. 10 out of 10. That's where you can find me on the internet. And Pauza, where can people find you?
You can find me on X and Xbox and PlayStation at Bowser13. And the best place to find me is, of course, in our Discord that is free to join, and we have lots of sweet hangs, so you should join there too. Links to everything in the description. Don't forget to get your Summer Game Fest merch and the new Campfire merch, and listen to all the Patreon content. Pop that free 7-day trial. I guarantee you can't listen to it all in 7 days, but you can try. And that's it. That's all for the Xbox Drive. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Are we going to end with the video? Who knows?
We are not ending with the video. I almost read off the script anyway because I have it in front of me, but we're not going to. Okay. Thanks so much.
Don't read it. You gotta go stream. Don't worry about it.
Thanks so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Xbox Drive. Now, before you drive off, please make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow Carpool Gaming on socials. Don't forget, we've got some awesome Xbox merch and all sorts of other merch on carpoolgaming.com, and you can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming for exclusive content. Links for everything are in the description. We'll see you next week.
Bye. You want to see me next week?